Yeah, that's important. You should.
Any basic questions if you have? At least I expect 1 or 2 hands.
You can ask any question. If you understand, don't understand, you have to be free and ask whatever you have in your mind.
So you talked about micro pump in that study. So micro pump is self-energized?
So micro pump is to flow. You have a sink where you are storing your fuel and oxygen, and it has to flow through the channel. So for that you will really require its high pressure to be maintained, and it requires power as well. So power will come from the cell priming kind of thing. So power will come from the same fuel cell. It will take away very little power. Very little power. Very little power. So it will come from the cell, whatever generated to start with. But starting also, because you have micro channels, it will also some capillary effect. The process will start. But micro pump will be faster to pass the fuel through the channel.
So it will use the power from that fuel
device itself to run the micro pump. It requires really very small power. All this micro piezo based power. Very small power.
Sir, you talked about solid oxide metal fuel cell. In your slide, you showed that natural gas can be used to produce electricity directly. So, if we can use any gas which can burn, like methane, to produce electricity in that.
Yes, that's what I said. So, you can use any gas directly, methane, propane, butane, that's what we are working on. Normally, if you talk about hydrogen fuel cell, people would take this kind of fuel, which is a primary fuel like methane, which is kind of natural gas available in the nature, to be converted to hydrogen by reformer, then use in the fuel cell. That is what the technology developed. Everybody is demonstrating, like all car companies, you know, the Honda, Hyundai, and others, Chrysler and BMW, everybody. But you are spending some energy to convert methane to all the natural gas or the propane, butane or crude capture to hydrogen. But if you can directly use it, then you gain lot. Okay. But the problem is coking. So that is what all the time we were trying to answer in that problem, that how we can stop coking, and can I do internal reforming within the cell where it would go through directly oxidation reduction reaction. Instead of making hydrogen, that going through oxidation reaction, propane itself goes through oxidation reaction, methane itself goes through oxidation reaction. That is what is a very challenging task. It's not that many people are trying. People tried, given up also, but as a researcher, you should try to do that, isn't it? What people are doing already done, there is no point doing it. You have to do something new. Because if I can do it, then it will be beneficial. And if I really can do perfectly, then of course you will know my name anyway. Thank you.
Is there anyone?
Girls should answer. I want girls to, you know, you are girls' college, and I'm happy to see that. Because we in our country, you know, all we know. You are in city, possibly you are privileged, but in the countryside, girls are not privileged. So we should encourage and should help. And you also, being a girl, should help them. Please.
Sir, I want to ask you, talked about ethanol liquid. So I want to ask that liquid is kept in it, or we have to pour it time to time for getting power?
I'm not showing you a picture, but it is was demonstrated about 1999 by Mitsubishi. And then there is a like Sony 10 years back, and before that there is some other company who makes laptop, who made laptop first. I was just not able to remember the name of the Japanese company who made the laptop first. Toshiba. Like it is the Toshiba first who demonstrated laptop with a cartridge and a fuel cell at 1999 in a Hydrogen Expo. So the cartridge, like if you've seen a cigarette lighter, there's a cartridge. So you can take the cartridge, you can put more fuel, or you can put a new cartridge. So their design was a fuel cell having a cartridge at the back, which is like you can see like a glass having fuel, and you have to take, when it's over, just take it out and put a new cartridge. So fuel with this ethanol, which is not a dangerous liquid to carry. Methanol, I agree. Methanol is a poisonous, so it has to be really carried very carefully in a box. But ethanol, there is no problem at all. If you use ethanol as a fuel and you can carry it, the cartridge has to be carried. Once it is over, you replace the cartridge. That's what you require. And the requirement of fuel is very, very small. Very small. So it will take many months to big cartridge to get over.
So we can say that we can pour it or fill it the container after time to time.
Yeah, with the economically, if it's commercialized, then the fuel cell and the cartridge will be available. You buy mobile phone and battery together, or then battery is gone wrong, you just throw it away and you buy a new battery. Similarly here also, it will be available with the fuel cell and the cartridge. So your cartridge is over, you go to that, they will fill the cartridge and give it to you, or you buy a new cartridge. So that's the model they're looking at. Of course that was big, but now people have come with a small. Motorola demonstrated again, not now, about 10 years back with a mobile phone. So that small fuel cell. And then Lilliputian, there's a company in US which is not selling in the market, solid oxide fuel cell with charger, which is small charger. So like you have now lithium-ion battery charger, which everybody now buys and carries for traveling, for charging. We don't get a charging port. So they have a small, Lilliputian name of the company, and that makes a small solid oxide fuel cell, which actually for charging purpose, like this small.
So just Professor Basu, are you looking? Okay, just about some immediate application of your direct hydrogen, both these fuel
cells. We are. Some company comes to us, like right now, ONGC would like to develop. They are working with us to develop solid oxide fuel cell for their wellhead. They produce a lot of methane. So if they in the offshore they got a lot of power, and methane solid oxide fuel cell can give their power. Power comes down for photovoltaic. In the monsoon season they have a problem. That's we are working with GAIL. We are working on some project, similar project for the methane. Okay, and GE sometime back they came for the glucose, but then did not materialize. I don't know what is the reason, but GE showed a lot of interest in the glucose fuel cell once upon a time. Okay, so that is how we are working, but that's what I would like to answer to you.
But I hope there is a good application for micro, if you can generate some micro fuel cell.
Yeah, Japan there is a lot of activity. Yes. Yes.
One last question. Yeah.
So you have said that we can use it in our body. How it is used and how it works in our body?
No, that is envisaged right now. It's not that it's being only a group in France in CRRS. They also working on a similar thing. So they actually showed if they made a cell which is biocompatible, they put it inside an animal.
Biyani sir to present a farewell memento to Professor Basu sir.